and welcome back to my book corner for another story time with me, Rockin' Ryan. So today is day 2 of our Julia Donaldson marathon, and I have chosen a story today that is called The Scarecrows Wedding, and it's all about 2 scarecrows who are madly in love, and they decide that they want to throw the best wedding ever. Do you think they can do it? But there is one very sneaky person who tries to get in the way. Is it going to work? We are about to find out. So let's turn on those listening ears, click, and get ready for today's story, The Scarecrows Wedding by Julia Donaldson. Here we go. Betty O'Barley and Harry O'Hay were scarecrows. They scared lots of crows every day. Harry loved Betty and Betty loved Harry, so Harry said, "Betty, my beauty, let's marry. Let's have a wedding, the best wedding yet, a wedding that no one will ever forget." Wow. I think it's going to be a great day. Betty agreed, so they hugged and they kissed. Then Betty said, "Oh, Harry dear, let's make a list." "Just as you say," answered Harry O'Hay. So they wrote down the things that they would need on the day. A dress of white feathers, a necklace of shells, lots of pink flowers, 2 rings and some bells. Then Harry gave Betty O'Barley his arm, and the scarecrows set off on a hunt round the farm. They hadn't gone far when they spotted some geese. "Oh, geese, if you'll give us a feather apiece, you can come to our wedding, the best wedding yet, the wedding that no one will ever forget." "We will," honked the geese, and they each gave a feather. A spider friend offered to sew them together. "Hooray!" said the scarecrows. They hugged and they kissed, and they hurried back home and crossed dress off their list. Then Harry gave Betty O'Barley his arm, and they set off once more on a hunt round the farm. They hadn't gone far when some cows gathered round, and the bells round their necks made a wonderful sound. Ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. "Oh, cows, will you please come and make your bells ring for our wonderful wedding, the best wedding yet, the wedding that no one will ever forget?" "Yes," mooed the cows, "we can tinkle our bells." Then a crab scuttled up with a necklace of shells. Some mice found 2 rings in a bin. They were certain the rings had belonged to an old farmhouse curtain. "Hooray!" said the scarecrows. They hugged and they kissed. "Pink flowers are the only things left on our list." Then Harry said, "Oh, Betty dear, I can find those. Why don't I pick some while you have a doze?" Pink flowers, buzzed a big stripy bee. "I can find you a field of pink flowers. Follow me." So the bee led the way, and they travelled for hours till they came to a field full of pretty pink flowers. Harry stood thinking, "I won't pick them yet. I'll need to find water to keep their stalks wet." Good idea, Harry. Very clever is Mr. Scarecrow. "Just follow me," croaked a lumpy old toad. "There is a lovely wet pool at the top of this road." They climbed up the road. It was terribly steep. "I'm tired," said the toad, so they stopped for a sleep. Early next morning they came to the pool. "This water," said Harry, "is beautifully cool, but now I need something to carry it in, a jug or a vase or a cup or a tin." "I think I can help," said a small, squirrely snail. "I can show you the way to a very fine pail." So the snail and the scarecrow set off on their way. But the snail was slow. It took more than a day. Betty was worried. "Oh, what's happened to Harry? Oh, where is the scarecrow I'm planning to marry?" The farmer came by with a frown on his face, and he made a new scarecrow to take Harry's place. "Good day," said the Scarecrow. "I'm Reginald Rake." He took Betty's hand and he gave it a shake. "Together," he told her, "we make a fine pair. You're really quite pretty apart from your hair." Then he jumped in the tractor and told her, "Hop in. I'm a really fast driver. Let's go for a spin." But Betty said, "No, I must wait here for Harry. He is a scarecrow I'm going to marry. We're planning our wedding, the best wedding yet, the wedding that no one will ever forget." Reginald laughed. "You'll be waiting forever. Forget about Harry. I bet he's not clever." "I must be the cleverest scarecrow alive. I can sing lots of songs, I can dance, I can drive. I'm dashing, I'm daring, I'm cool as can be. I can even blow smoke rings. Just watch me and see." And he took out a big fat cigar from a packet the farmer had foolishly left in his jacket. "But smoking is bad for you," Betty exclaimed. "Really, you ought to be feeling ashamed." "Oh, don't be a fusspot," said Reginald Rake. "My smoke rings are staggering, make no mistake." He struck up a light and he tried hard to smoke, but straight away started to splutter and choke. What happened next was completely unplanned. The lighted cigar tumbled out of his hand. It fell to the ground and it started a fire. Betty screamed, "Help!" as the flames flickered higher. But Reginald Rake said, "I'd better be off," and he bounded away with a terrible cough. "Poor Betty, she's on fire. I hope someone's going to come and save her, don't you?" Then suddenly, who should appear on the farm but Harry O'Hay with a pail on his arm. "Betty!" cried Harry, "my own future wife!" He poured on the water and he saved Betty's life. Then they picked up the flowers, they hugged and they kissed, and they said, "Now that's everything crossed off our list. Look, they've found a dress of white feathers and a necklace of shells, lots of pink flowers, 2 rings, and of course, thanks to the cows, some bells." So Betty O'Barley and Harry O'Hay wed one another the very next day, and everyone, even the snail, who was late, said, "Oh, don't they look happy? And oh, don't they look great?" This, they agreed as they sprinkled confetti on Harry O'Hay and his beautiful Betty, is the best wedding ever and the best wedding yet, the wedding that no one will ever forget. I love that story. Even 2 scarecrows can get married. Not just a boy and a girl, or 2 boys or 2 girls, but also 2 very in love scarecrows. And even though that horrible Reginald Rake tried to get in on their business, he wasn't good enough, and he was very silly, smoking and making that great big fire, and nearly poor Betty went up in flames. But Harry came along and he saved the day. Hooray! That's all for today's story. I think it's time for a nice rest. So let's all close our eyes. Ooh, I keep snoring, don't I? And come back and see me, please, tomorrow for another story in my book corner with me, Rockin' Ryan. But for now, bye-bye.